Namaste.
Namaste.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode where we unpack one of South Asia's most compelling digital transformation stories, Sri Lanka's fast track journey towards a cashless economy. Cashless Sri Lanka, decoding the digital revolution. I'm your host Deepika, and joining me today is Vice Chairman of Indo-Sri Lanka Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Naresh Bana, and a public private partnership expert. Welcome, Dr. Bana. The government of Sri Lanka has clearly positioned digitalization not just as a policy but as a national transformation mission. From QR payments to digital identity, the message is very strong. Dr. Bana, let me start with a big picture. The President of Sri Lanka has clearly positioned digitalization not just as a policy, but as a national transformation mission. From QR payments to digital identity, the message is very strong. What stands out to you from this vision?
That's a good question. You see, what stands out most from uh, His Excellency the President's vision is the shift from incremental reform to systemic transformation. Digitalization is not being treated as a standalone IT upgrade, but as a whole of government and whole of economy strategy. The emphasis on building foundational digital public infrastructure, something like what their bigger neighbor India has done, such as QR based payments, digital identity, and interoperable platforms that can be leveraged across sectors. A key highlight is the focus on inclusion and accessibility. By promoting low cost tools like QR payments, the vision ensures that even small traders and rural populations are integrated into the formal digital economy. A significant element is interoperability and standardization. The push for unified systems reduces fragmentation, improves efficiency, and enhances user trust, which is so critical for scaling adoption nationwide. More importantly, the vision links digitalization with economic resilience and governance reforms. Digital platforms can improve transparency, reduce leakages, and strengthen service delivery, which is particularly vital in post crisis recovery context. So, if I sum it up by saying that the messaging is very clear and it reflects strong political ownership and continuity, which is essential for long term transformation of the country.
So let's talk about the core enabler, centerpiece that is QR payments. Sri Lanka has rolled out its national QR payment program with a very bold step. Zero merchant fees for transaction up to rupees 5,000. How significant is this?
See, the decision to allow no merchant fees for QR transactions up to rupees 5,000 is highly strategic and impactful move. It is directly addressing one of the biggest barrier to digital payment adoption, that is the cost sensitivity among small merchants. Because all digital payments come with a merchant discount rate. That is, the person who's paying doesn't pay anything extra, but the person who's receiving gets a little less than what actually has been paid, because the platform through which the money is being moved, that is in this case Lanka QR, they charge something. So other platforms were charging, while in this one, the government has said that up to 5,000 Lankan rupees, there would be no uh, fee, no MDR. So that's why it is for ensuring that even the street vendors, small retailers, and micro businesses operating on thin margins, even a small transaction fee could have been a little disadvantageous to them. So they should not be discouraged. So that is, there's been no fee for payments up to 5,000. And this effectively eliminates friction at the entry level. Now, coming to the policy, it also creates a strong behavioral nudge. When merchants are indifferent or even favorable towards digital payments, customers are more likely to shift away from cash payments. From a systemic perspective, it accelerates the formalization of the economy. As more transactions move on the digital channel, it improves transparency, transaction traceability, and access to financial services such as credit for small businesses. Importantly, the 5,000 threshold is well calibrated. It covers the majority of daily retail transactions, ensuring that the policy targets high frequency use cases where digital adoption matters most. In essence, this is not just a pricing decision, it's a market shaping intervention that can significantly speed up Sri Lanka's transition towards a cash light, inclusive digital economy.
Talking about transactions, sir, what type of payments and can be carried out using Lanka QR, and how versatile is the system in everyday use?
Lanka QR, as it has been launched, is highly versatile and supports a wide range of transactions. At the most basic level, it enables person to merchant payments such as paying at retail shops, restaurants, supermarkets, and street vendors. It also supports person to person transfers, allowing individuals to send money instantly by scanning a QR code. Beyond that, it can be used for utility bill payments, mobile recharges, and even government related payments in some cases. The system accommodates both static QR codes where the customers enters the amount and dynamic QR codes where the payment amount is pre-filled, reducing errors and improving convenience. Its real strength lies in everyday usability, something like what our Sri Lankan friends may have seen while visiting India. Whether buying groceries, paying for transport, or settling small value transactions, Lanka QR is going to eliminate the need for cash. Additionally, it supports real time fund transfer, making it efficient for both consumers and businesses. Overall, Lanka QR is not just a payment tool, it's a comprehensive digital transaction platform adaptable to multiple use cases in daily life.
How interoperable is Lanka QR with international payment systems? For instance, can foreign tourists seamlessly use it during their stay in Sri Lanka?
Very important question. See, currently Lanka QR is primarily a domestic payment system, but efforts are underway to enhance international interoperability, integration with global QR payment networks, and particularly to support tourism. In case of tourists coming from India, it has been integrated with Indian UPI, where up to a certain amount, the Indian tourists can make payment using their own similar system UPI, which is integrated with Lanka QR, and transact directly from their bank accounts and make payments in Sri Lanka. At present, there may be some limitations, but the need to access a Sri Lankan bank account or a locally supported wallet to fully utilize Lanka QR may be there. However, partnerships and international payment platforms are evolving to enable cross-border QR payments with other countries as well. In future, we can expect tourists to scan Lanka QR using their home country apps, similar to how I just mentioned about the Indian UPI is being used in Lanka. That said, even today, tourists can benefit indirectly through local intermediaries, or by using cards and other digital payments alongside Lanka QR. The long-term vision is clear: to make Lanka QR globally interoperable, enhancing convenience for visitors and boosting tourism-related spending. So, while seamless usage for tourists is still evolving, the direction is promising and strategically important.
So let's come to the discussion about challenges in implementation. From your perspective, what are the real world challenges in implementing and scaling Lanka QR across the country?
Yes, when you bring in any new initiative of which has far-reaching implications, challenges are bound to be there. And scaling Lanka QR across Sri Lanka involves both infrastructural and behavioral challenges. One key issue is uneven digital penetration, particularly in rural areas where smartphone usage and internet connectivity may be limited. At the same time, you will be delighted to note that uh, the penetration of bank accounts is fairly good. Most of the Sri Lankans are having their bank accounts, and banks are connected. So it's only the question of user awareness and trust, and certainly the connectivity. Many people still prefer cash due to familiarity and perceived reliability. Changing this behavior requires sustained awareness campaigns and incentives. And on the merchant front, the adoption can also be uneven. Some small traders may hesitate due to concerns about transaction fees, settlement delays, or lack of technical know-how. Interoperability across all banks and fintech platforms is also need to be reassured. While it is largely achieved, it still requires continuous refinement to ensure seamless user experience. Additionally, system reliability is critical. Any downtime or transaction failure can undermine confidence in digital payments. And lastly, the regulatory coordination and ecosystem alignment among banks, fintechs, and government agencies are essential for scaling effectively. So, while the technology is sound, the real challenge lies in adoption, awareness, and ecosystem maturity. Something where there are many lessons from neighboring India which can be implemented.
So, talking about the challenges, let's talk about some risks and threats also. Are there any potential risks or threats, such as cybersecurity concerns or adoption barriers, that stakeholders should be mindful of?
Yes, like any digital payment system, Lanka QR comes with certain risks. Cybersecurity is the primary concern. Then there are phishing attacks, fake QR codes, and unauthorized access attempts can pose threats. So users have to be vigilant always and during every transaction. Data privacy is another important aspect. Ensuring that user information is securely handled and protected from misuse is critical for maintaining trust. Operational risks are there, such as system outages or transaction failures. These can impact user confidence and reliability. Therefore, robust backend infrastructure and redundancy mechanisms are essential. From an adoption perspective, resistance to change and digital literacy remain major barriers. If not addressed, they can slow down the transition to digital system. Then there is also a risk of fragmentation if non-compliant systems emerge outside the Lanka QR framework. To mitigate these risks, strong regulatory oversight, continuous user education, and advanced security protocols are necessary. Ultimately, while risks exist, They are manageable with proactive governance and responsible usage.
Lastly, sir, how does Lanka QR benefit small traders and micro businesses? And what impact can it have on financial inclusions?
See, Lanka QR is particularly transformative for small traders and micro businesses. Traditionally, accepting digital payments required costly point of sale machines and infrastructure. Lanka QR removes this barrier by enabling merchants to accept payment using a simple printed QR code if they have a bank account. This drastically reduces entry costs and allows even street vendors and small shops to participate in the digital economy. It even allows them to build up their revenue stream and scale up their business by having better credibility in eyes of the banks and get more working capital for their use. They can show their revenue stream to their bankers and obtain better working capital loans to scale up their business. Here I would like to mention an incident where I was getting my shoe repaired and the repairing person insisted that I pay using the UPI because his son was keen on starting a business of uh, shoe doctor, and such revenue stream would help him get better investment for his startup. So that is the power that a person on the street can think of going big. It also improves cash flow management. Payments are received directly into bank accounts, reducing the risk associated with handling cash. See, for customers, it increases convenience and trust, potentially boosting sales for merchants. In a broader sense, Lanka QR integrates informal business into the formal financial system, enhancing transparency and economic participation. It's not just a payment solution, it's a powerful tool for inclusive economic growth and better future for Sri Lanka.
That's a powerful note to end on. Sri Lanka's digital journey is not just about going cashless, it's about building a smarter, more inclusive economy. Thank you, Dr. Bana, for those insightful perspectives. And thank you to our listeners for joining us today. This is Deepika signing off, bringing you conversations that shape the future of economies, technology, and global collaboration. Until next time, stay informed, stay inspired. Namaste.
Ayubowan.